What's up, YouTube? Get on up in here. Get on up in here. How are y'all doing? Hit that like button upon your arrival. Subscribe if you catch a vibe. Share. And just support the channel overall. You know, if you feel called. Support what we got going on over here. Because apparently there's a lot of people that don't support. So I'm just looking for the supporters at this point. Get on up in here. Get on up in here. Hello, get on up in here, YouTube. Get on up in here. I done been beat up enough by the non-supporters. Where is my support at? That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm hoping for. But I did get a channel message of there's a group of females. A group of females that can't stop talking about somebody. They talk about what you wear. They talk about your hair, even though one of them out the group got alopecia. They talk about what you wear. They barely even wear clothes. This somebody, you know what I'm saying? Their body ain't got a Coca-Cola bottle body, but they still don't wear clothes. Like, they hardly wear clothes. But they talk about you. They talk about what you wear. They talk about your hair. They talk about, you know, all the surface level things. What you got, what you don't got, who paying for what, how much money you got, how much money you don't got, what your kids look like, what your kids' hair look like, what your kids' clothes look like. You know what I'm saying? They talk about everything that can be bought. They talk about everything that can be paid for. When I feel like these are a bunch of heathens that actually steals most of the things they have. And if they ain't stealing it, somebody else is stealing it, and they paying cheap for it. $10, $20 for a sweatsuit. You know what I'm saying? Like, what, $50 for some shoes that somebody done went and stole. You know what I'm saying? Or like, you know. But and then also I'm getting that they live in low income, but they spend their money on big things like clothes and shoes and wigs and eyelashes, and their dudes to have chains and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? These are the type of people that are targeting you. They're targeting you for shopping at Walmart. They're targeting you for shopping at Aldi's or the thrift store, wherever you may shop, whatever you may do. I feel like these people are very surface level, and that's all they can do is get in a group and talk about little old you. That's it. That's all. But like I said, one of them, or maybe even two of them, got alopecia. You know what I'm saying? And they ain't even up on their hygiene. They don't go to the dentist or the doctor regularly. They got to feel an itch or see some, you know, thick green or yellow discharge before they go check themselves out. You know, but they talk about you. They cough a lot. Whoever this is, they cough a lot. They throat. They probably got some type of bacteria or something in their throat that they need to go check out. They got thrush. You got grown-ass people that got thrush in their throat, but they talking about you. I just don't understand. I just don't get it, man. What have the collective done to these people? I'm getting that you ain't done nothing but minded your business. You ain't did nothing at all to these people. You don't go in their lane. You open to learn. You willing to expand. All this and that, but they still want to talk about where your money is being spent. They still want to talk about what your clothes look like. They still want to, man, confirmation. They still want to talk about what your kids look like. They still want to talk about nobody helping you, but all your shit is still seeming to get done. So I don't understand why they talking. I don't understand why they talking, because they got a group. Is that what makes them feel better? She ain't got to think about the alopecia because she can throw a wig on and talk about you? I don't get it. I don't understand. They keep talking about you doing witchcraft, and none of that is in your roster. None of it. Look, I'm looking at I just pulled these cards out the deck just to get started, you know what I'm saying? I just pulled the cards out the deck and I got the Ace of Wands. They talking about your fire, talking about your passion. But for what though? A community. It's a community of people. Somebody could be married. Somebody could have just got married. Somebody could have, you know what I'm saying? 5 of Wands. But it's nothing but conflict. It's nothing but arguments. It's nothing but strife in their marriage. But the only time they can laugh is when they sitting around calling you out about something. I mean, is that the life we supposed to be living nowadays? Is that how it go? Is that what we're supposed to be doing? Is that what marriage is about? The only time y'all happy is when you criticizing, putting down, or stealing something, or buying something that was stole so that you can buy it for cheap and say that you got on gold? Is that what we do? Tell me, is that what marriage for? Because that will explain why I'm not married. That would explain why I'm a single mother. That would explain why, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to come by people that are open and willing to expand their mind, their heart, and their desires. Because what I read in the Bible was God said that marriage was for family, for love, for happiness and excitement, for help, for partnership, for support. For honesty. You see what I'm saying? People try to use the Bible to choke you out until you get the scripture that calls them out. Everything was made by man. People ain't open enough or even experienced enough to say a man could have wrote this to fit his own life at that time. A woman could have did this to fit her own life at that time. Nah, they're going to say, God had them write that, and this is what it means, and this is what it says for the rest of my life. Okay, cool. That's cool. But they forgot one thing in that Bible. They forgot the one thing that matters the most. Is when God said all things are made by him. All things are made by him. He is the Alpha and the Omega. He is the judge. Vengeance is his. How they get every single thing in the scripture but that? How they go to church every single fucking day, week, Wednesday, Sunday, Tuesday, Saturday, but they forgot that? How did they forget that? It's not about what you do. It's not about what you put your hand on. It's about your heart and the presence you carry amongst other people. That's what it's about. They don't want to hear that, though. They don't want to hear that. Mm-mm. Nah. They'd rather run and live the lies they've been told. They'd rather run to what's comfortable. They'd rather run to what their family is doing. They'd rather run to what their friends are doing. People can talk a good ass game. They can say all this and say all that. But they can't tell you how to come out of poverty. But they'll clown you about it. They can't tell you how to start loving your life. But they'll clown about the circumstances you're in. So, please tell me, who is true? Who is true? What is true nowadays? Please tell me. You want to know how I'm called to express or call out what is being hidden? You want to know how I'm called for that? Well, imagine a married man going around not telling people that they're actually married, but they're sleeping with people. They sleeping with these people. They making these people think that they like them. They making these people think that they got something for them. And then a person like me come around and say, oh, you married. And they like, hold on, how the fuck did you know that? That's how I know. Because I was a fool. I was a fool for people. I ignored what was obvious. And some shit, not so much. But in the Bible, it tells you that God's angels will be charged with foolishness. So, what anybody else feels is not my responsibility. What anyone else does, I don't have to live. But what I will do is every soul that I encounter, I will make sure that in my presence, they feel heard and uplifted the best way I can. So, back to the channel message about these group of females that you may even know from your childhood and their desire to gossip about Little old you. I already spoke the piece, but I'll pull the cards to confirm, as I do always. And then, what others don't know is that, yes, anybody can be aloof and be misled by anything. In the Bible, it tells you, do not eat swine, for it is an abomination to your soul. In the Bible, it also tells you it is okay to eat anything as long as you pray over it. It is up to you to use your discernment and know when God is talking to you. So let's get it. I'm using a deck called Earth, and I'm going to see what they got to say. Yesterday, I picked up on an energy of somebody was caught with their pants down. And they were just crying and begging to God. They may have even pissed on themselves when they were caught. I don't know if that has anything to do with today's reading. But that was the energy I channeled yesterday. It may even have something to do with children. But I'm going to leave it at that. I got the Temperance card here. You are given to yourself. You are focused on yourself. You are where God has called you. God has called you to the water, and you have drinking. See what I'm saying? Angel. What did I say about this angel? But look at your hair in a fro. What did I say about this angel? Standing by themselves, but focused on their own soul. Why is it that somebody so beautiful, so kind-hearted, so giving would be amongst so many judges, to say the least? Why is it? You've walked this path. You've taken the road or route that God has asked you to take. Why is it so many people judges you? Hello, welcome in, welcome in. Let's get some more. But you just got to trust the process. Trust the process. But do you see how it looks like a storm is back there? God has called you away from the storm. And this is where you sit. What is the Temperance? The Queen of Pentacles. Your life. You can kick your feet up. I don't feel like you're a person that wants for anything other than true support. But I feel like you are the supporter of many. Because your abundance, your luck is always on your side. What I'm getting from this is that You know that as long as you follow God and do what He is calling you to do, your abundance will always be on your side. With the Four of Swords, I feel that God is calling you to heal, rest, and relax as this change is coming. Do you see all these moons? It's all the different moon cycles. All the hidden conflict that you have no knowledge of, but you may feel. All the judgment. But you know that in God's eyes, you are clean. You are clean. So I feel like even though I did get this energy, this dark energy of these groups that can't stop judging and trying to bring conflict towards you, you don't have to worry, which I'm sure you know that. And all God is asking you to do is stay focused. Stay focused. And I can believe that you are doing that to the best of your ability. Because you are a blessing. And anything you want, you attract. Also, with the Temperance card here, you have patience. And didn't I just say anything you want, you attract? Look at the Empress. That is the card that speaks of the Empress who sits back and watch everything come to them. But on this deck, you must be a woman. And if you're not a woman, you're just in your feminine energy. But I see a lot of softness. Hello, welcome in. I see a lot of softness in this energy. And others, I was just about to say that. Others want you to be burdened. They want you to be rough, tough, carry it all. But you don't have to. You don't have to. You can sit back in your energy and you can accept what God is doing in your life. Despite the anger, despite the feeling of wanting to be right, despite the feeling of others wanting to be right about you, when they couldn't be more wronger than two left shoes. What is it about the Temperance? You know that all things divine takes time. What did I say? 6 of Wands. Due time. In due time, when God feel you are ready. Not because other people want to pressure you into their readiness. The 6 of Wands also talks about support, recognition. Anything rushed leaves quickly. Remember that. And it has also taken you time to recognize the truth about you, the God in you, and your path. And just because you feel like you know it right now, don't mean that it's prepared to take off right now. The Queen of Pentacles, the Seven of Cups. You've worked so hard, but you're very selective this time with your choices. Because you know that everything that glitters isn't gold. And you know that although somebody might have a good heart, it doesn't mean that they'll steer you in the right direction. And you know that it's as quick as a blink of an eye to jump in some fire that you didn't expect. So this is why it is important to stay to yourself, to hold on to what you got or what you get, and not feel misled to give in to others because maybe that's how you were misled in the past. You were so quick to give your all to somebody else that gave you their ass. And that's how we get tricked. And that's why you had to sit back and go heal. That's why you had to sit back and go heal. And wash off the sins and the ways of other people. What did I tell you about you giving your all and people giving you their ass to kiss? Am I lying? Many times, many moons, you had to go sit alone and heal yourself. But in the beginning, it was like the healing didn't take so long. So what you do? You ran back to them same people you ran from. Look at all the butterflies on this card, which signifies change. Letting go. Letting go and embracing what God has for you. Even your flowers look like pollen. Your flowers started to look like pollen. And that is the reason. That is the reason. Many times you had to go through change. Many times you had to wash off shame. You had a decision, or you got one now. Yourself or everyone else. And yes, it is dark. It is lonely. But just remember that if there was anyone around you that truly cared or truly supported who you were and not what they were feeding off of from you, then they wouldn't leave you in the darkness alone. They wouldn't judge you for trying to figure yourself out. They wouldn't call out your pain in order to put you to shame. So why not choose yourself? The Knight of Cups. There's hope as long as you have faith. There is hope. Maybe that's what you pray for. Because you do feel pressured. You do feel like a lot of things need your attention. And you're just one person. And you wish you had help to carry some of these burdens. But you're a natural born leader. And once you realize that, the easier your burdens become. Because it is meant for you to walk your path. Oh, y'all ain't see that. To walk your path in order to guide others. This is why you have to do it alone in this season. So have strength, because God is by your side. You could have an orange, or that could be your favorite color. You could like to wear like little either barrettes or bows in your hair or something like that. Don't have to be. God has brought you back to the garden in order for you to be cleansed again. You're not alone, but it may feel that way because you've been conditioned to be codependent. But if you actually sit back and look at your life, you'll realize that the people that you did have near you or on you or around you or that you were celebrating with, you were the strong one. You were the strong one. You absorbed all the problems and gave resolution. You were the one that took the most criticism and still smiled. You were the one that tried to give all you had without asking for anything in return. It was you. But when it became your turn, you didn't get as much. You didn't feel as much. You were still longing for something. So, I feel like that's why now you've been sat down so that you can truly think about and truly accept who God is calling you to be. And not with all the shame, guilt, confusion, and burdens that you have. The closer you get to God, the freer you become. Inger said, "Thank you. I really needed this reading. So true. I feel so lonely. Right now I feel I don't have anything anymore. I'm so sad." And Inger, I'm sorry that you feel that way. And what do you feel you lost, if you don't mind me asking? Welcome in, Alan. Alan said directions from Florida. Hi, I don't have any Florida directions. I am doing a free general collective reading. So if you catch a vibe, go on and subscribe and stick around, family. Give me a second. I'm about to do another setup. Oops. I'm about to change my setup. Give me just 1 second. Now, what makes me upset is hold on. How they gonna let me do this? My fault, trying to get it so y'all be able to see the cards. All right. Now, what makes me upset is when somebody would literally say that everybody that does cards does witchcraft. That's like saying every married man cheats. Alan said, I'm watching from Florida because one man did, right? I just don't understand how people speak on things that they know nothing about, but then criticize you when it's your turn. Sad, man. It's a sad thing. But anyway, let's hop into it. What else we got? The Two of Swords. God could be saying block out fools. I love God. I love the way God talks to me. Clap it up for God right quick, man. Clap it up for God right quick, please. Please, somebody clap it up for the man upstairs. But look, the Two of Swords, the Fool, and the Queen of Swords, y'all, man. This shit is funny. Block out the fools. And do you see the bird right here? The bird signifies messenger. The bird signifies guidance. The bird signifies freedom. You see how I almost just got like a little sad by what I said, right? You know how I almost got a little sad about what I said when I said, it's like saying a married man cheat. It's like saying every married man cheats. You know what I'm saying? And God put it right in my face just like that. Ignore the fools and do what God is calling you to do. Oh my, I love God so much, man. I love God. You breaking down conditions. You tearing them down. And that's what it is supposed to, that's what's supposed to be done. That's what you are supposed to be doing. Because everybody don't know everything. Hold on, I'm sorry. Yeah, and there's somebody that just can't help but to talk mad shit. Like they just evil at the heart. But because they go to church every Sunday, they may even preach. This is a woman that's a preacher. But in the Bible, it says, women shall not be pastors. Ain't that what it say in the Bible? Lord, help me, man. Help me. Everything you do is wrong. Everything they do is right. Hold on, I'm going to get it together for y'all. Just give me a second. I don't want to drop it again. Okay, I'm going to take it off of here for now till I get it back right. Okay, were y'all hearing me? Alan said, I'm 72 years old, and I am wise enough to know it ain't always the man that cheats. Well, good for you, Alan. I know that's right. And I wasn't speaking of just men, even women. Even women. Hi, Micaiah. Welcome in. Hello, HS. Hello, Donnell. Welcome in. But like I said, there's somebody that go to church every Sunday. This woman is colder than a damn breeze outside. And very judgmental. And like I said, they're possibly even a pastor. And they lean on that Bible for dear life. But in the Bible, it even says, a woman shall not be a pastor. So you please tell me, who is actually listening to the God in them through everything? Through everything? Through everything. My mission is to help people feel seen, feel heard, and feel loved just as they are. The church says, come as you are. But if you're a woman and you wear pants, they're going to tell you to go home. Or they're going to tell you to go downstairs and put a skirt on that they got down there that's extra and been donated. So you tell me, don't be the fool because of somebody else's smart mouth. Don't block your own blessing because of somebody else's ignorance. God didn't call them. He called you to break the chain, to tear down their conditions, and to get people to see that you ain't got to have 3.5 million followers and 800 likes for people to recognize when God is speaking to them through you. So give me 1 second so I can set this up how I want to and finish the reading. People get so boastful. They get so boastful, man. And it's so sad, bruh. It's so sad, man. Because they forget where they came from. Or they forget that it takes effort. Or they forget that it's God's time and not theirs. And that is so sad. Now, like I said and like I always say, there's good and bad in everything. My grandfather was a pastor. And his untold secret was that he left my mom's mother after they had 12 kids together. And 2 of them passed away, I think. But he left my grandmother and went and married a 16-year-old girl. And that man was well in his 40s. Now you tell me. You tell me. I know the truth about these churchgoers. I know the truth behind these pastors and these priests. Because they hide behind the Bible that was made at that time in order to fit the man who wrote it. Now, there is some things in the Bible you can take to heart. And there is some things with cards that you got to watch out for. But I'm here to tell you that just because I do cards, it don't mean I hate people that go to church. And just because they go to church, don't mean that they should hate me for using cards. Open your mind. Open your heart. Listen to your spirit. And go where God is calling you. But I'm here to go against the secrets that they want to keep. It sounds like somebody's dog outside is attacking somebody. It sounds horrible. like scary. Like if I was outside right now, I would probably be scared. But with the way that dog just reacted, that's how pissed off people get when their secrets come out. That's how pissed off they be getting. They be wanting to chop your motherfucking head off. When God said, I see everything. I see everything under the sun and the moon. And be slow to anger. Because you never know how your secret can help somebody else not make that same mistake. Now, I apologize to certain people that may get in my life and hear some shit that they didn't want nobody to know. But it wasn't me that did that. It wasn't my bad intention. It wasn't my reason. I have no desire to care about the next person's life and what they choose to do or not do. No desire. My only desire is to open the mind and the heart of other people. Dwayne Allen said, can you add me, please? Hello. So I am doing a free collective reading. These are not free personal reads. So take what resonate. And also, Dwayne, were you saying add you to the live? Or just add you to, like, maybe you thought I was doing free personal reads? Micaiah said, I don't go into church during years. I know an old friend who was surrounded by people who used to tell people, go to church when they have to move towards another country. Then at French, the witch steal his stars, make him lose his head. What? See, that's sad. But I've been in a church where a priest was touching on a 14-year-old boy. So like I said, there's good and bad in everything in this world. You got to test the spirit and test the heart of all people around you. And just because they may pick up cards or lay down dirt, don't mean that they ain't worthy of love, of support, or understanding. What else do we have? But I love how God, like, just backs me up, man. I just love it. I love it. Because if I can say one thing, and then the cards come out second, and confirm that thing, then there is nothing that I should worry or be afraid of. Micaiah said, and now he is better after so many years, but still do not want to see his parents. If not, he would be angry. Wow. Alan, welcome in. Micaiah said, the danger is when people said to child, go to church without any other advice. Dwayne said, I thought you were doing a free reading. Okay. I am your spiritual advisor, and that is who God called me to be. I don't have to prove anything. It's done in my work. It's done in my work. I don't care if I got 3 people that have subscribed to me. Those 3 is good enough, because they'll eventually step into their purpose and help another 3. And that's how you should feel, collective. That's how you should feel about being alone right now. That's how you should feel about whatever you're doing. And if you may feel like you ain't at the level of other or many around you, you ain't supposed to be. Man, oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. So what was on the top of the deck and I didn't know was the King of Pentacles. What did I just say? I am your spiritual advisor. And even if I got 3 people, I'm going to turn that next 3. I'm going to turn that person into somebody that's going to turn the next 3 people into who they are being called to be by God. That is my sole purpose. And that's what I'm walking in. And if it's a tower for people, it's supposed to be. Because they need to get out of their lies and stop hiding in the church and tell the truth about how black their hearts really are and how conditioned and shrunken their mind really is. The Page of Wands, messenger once again. A spiritual messenger once again. I don't need the cards. I use them. And just because I use them, don't make me the devil. And just because I use them, don't make me a sinner. Because just like everything else in this world, God has made it all. Alan said, if you look in the Bible, Jesus had his prophets alongside him. And that is truth. And that goes for the ones that are in my life at this time who are listening. The message that is being directed towards them. There's no force. There's no expectation. God will tell you what to take with you upon our depart. Or when you depart. Ace of Pentacles. What I'm also getting is that the blessings will speak for you. The blessings will speak for you. And everybody will see that they have come from God. Even though a lot of them will try to twist it and say you did something ungodly to gain it. But you don't focus on the lies, nor do you focus on their criticism. You just walk in a direction that God is leading you. Man, what did I say? can I make this up? Didn't I say that many will say you got it by doing something ungodly? Look at this. The devil card. What did I? You were hidden in plain sight. You were hidden in plain sight. Wow. You were called to make a change. The death card. You were called to put an end to the BS by speaking the truth, by calling out the truth and walking in it. Hello, welcome in. The high priestess. Man, bro, I cannot make this up. Thank you, God. I cannot make this up. The high priestess. Didn't I just say that you were called to call out their secrets? You were called to open up people's minds from their conditions. You see, looking at this card right here, do you see how this person is buried under the tree, but there's no roots? There's no roots. What these people have been doing was all built by man. No God, earth in it. Do you see? Oh, thank you, God. Oh my goodness, bro. This is why they don't want you to go to card readers. Because I'm not going to say all. I'm just going to reference myself. I am going to give you the truth directly from God. And do you see why they would write in the Bible? There's only one line in the Bible that reference card readers. There's only one scripture in the Bible that reference cards. Now, do you see how that can be modified by man? And it's so ironic that this card depicts that. Isn't it so ironic? Look at how the tree is growing off of man and not the actual earth. Come on, man. God got to be speaking to well, he's speaking to me. And that's all I need to know. That's all I need to know. That's all I need to know. These conditions, these roots, go back to man and not God. You better open your mind. You better test the spirit. And it's bittersweet. Okay. Here, where you get give me 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. So let's say he who controls the printed page controls the thinking of the age. I feel you, Celeste. I feel you, Celestine. All right, but hey, man, what the hell was that? My fault. They said God don't like cussing, right? Cursing and this, that, and the third. First of all, where we get it from? First of all, that's the first question. And then the next thing is, in the Bible, I saw a cuss word. Shitta, whores. Hey, why is so much stuff contradicting itself? Why is so much stuff contradicting itself? But they want to judge you? Judge who? Look at this. The roots go back to man. That's funny. Their roots go back to man. I'm here to help them see. Their roots go back to man and not earth. I never knew. I done had this deck for like 2 years now. Never knew that that's what the hell this card looked like. Never knew. Even in the story of Jesus, he started breaking all the rules and telling people that God is within them. Right? What would it serve me or a person like me to know that for someone to say Jesus was any other color, religion, or anything outside of what I've been born to believe in? What would it serve me? What would it serve me? Just tell the truth. For them to be able to think that they got one up? For them to be able to think that they're in some type of control? Or I ain't gonna say them, I'm gonna say man. Because man can be man or woman. I'm just speaking of the human nature. That is the only reason for somebody to try to covet Jesus for their own. That's the only reason. That is the only reason. Because if I speak English, then why would I want to follow a Jesus that speaks tongue? Why? Why? Can anybody tell me? Didn't think so. The Page of Wands here. What is the Page of Wands? The Magician. I call it how I see it. And it's breaking down everything that they thought was true. Micaiah said, yes, and if Jesus Christ is Son of God in the heart and God in spirit, who we are, we have heart and we have spirit. Yes, but a lot of people don't, Micaiah. A lot of people don't. They got printed material, and that is what they go off of. They only have a heart for the people that they love, and that's what they go off of. They only have a spirit. Some people don't even acknowledge that there is a spirit. And that lets you know right there that they do not have the Holy Spirit. But then again, people do have spirits, but they don't have the Holy Spirit. Alan said, I've heard people speak tongue and I could understand what they're saying. Good for you, Alan. But I'm not going to use you as my middleman because I cannot understand what they are saying. And that's like even people that speak English. If you go translate for somebody in anything that you do, people are so manipulative. They will take what you said and you say, go tell Joe exactly what I said. And they say, okay, you said A, B, C, D. And you said, go tell Joe that you said A, B, C, D. This is what they'll say. And you be like, yes, thank you. And they be like, you're welcome. I'm about to go tell Joe right now. People will get to Joe and be like, Joe, Chosen said C, D, E, A. And Joe like, what? And they like, yeah. Chosen said C, D, B, A. And now Joe pissed off at Chosen because Chosen got the A, B, C, D wrong. That's what I'm saying. Take out the middleman. Take out the middleman. Get the truth for yourself by going to the source. I am a resource. I'm not the source. God is the source. And whatever message you leave here with, you gonna know when God is speaking to you. And you should take it back in prayer. Or a lot of times, it's something that you already know, but you've been ignoring it for the sake of your mama, for the sake of your daddy, for the sake of your baby mama, for the sake of your kids, for the sake of your brother, for the sake of your sister, for the sake of every damn body around you, but yourself. For the sake of the pastor at the church. You don't know that the pastor at the church keep winking at your daughter. But because he got that Bible in front of him, he a good man. Because she got that Bible in front of her, she a good woman. And I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to conflict. I'm simply here to tell you it's time to check the facts. It's time to open up. And call it like you see it. If everybody is living a lie, then who is going to live eternal life? I can't make this up. It's time to start watering nature. Micaiah said, imagine you say someone I love you, but when this someone disfigured by the flames, that love is gone. Facts. Exactly. That's like whether it's flames or not. People are gone. You never know when somebody is going to go. You don't. But just think about it. When somebody goes, you can almost go with them. Because some people get so codependent, so motivated by somebody else, that if they lose that person, they'll lose their life and everything tied to it. And I've been there. Micaiah said, that's why I put self with a divine one. He or her will respect his commitment. Micaiah said, everyone don't have the same level of light and love, and everyone is not compatible. Facts. Alan said, I had a stroke back in 2023, and I was out of it for 3 days, and I felt the love that the Lord had for me. Can you show me things that I cannot explain? But when I came back, it was not me that came back. Wow. See, Alan? And that is your testimony. But because you ain't got on fancy clothes, probably, I don't know what you got or don't got. But I'm just simply saying that if you ain't at a certain level of financial stability, people wouldn't even believe your story. They wouldn't even believe your testimony. Even the people in church. You go tell the people in church. You got to look a certain way for people to believe your testimony. For people to believe that God is talking to you. I can't believe I heard that man say, Joseph, that was back in Joseph. You not Joseph. Like, what? You damn fool. Oh, so you think that God stopped talking to people back in the Bible days? You don't think he give a damn about the world now? He gonna let people lie and live in stupidity their whole life. He don't care about the world no more. Is that what you telling me? When you can even look it up online and ask, how does God talk to people? And it tells you right there on fucking line, you got Chat GPT and all that helping you with your business. You telling me that you can't look that up and they say, well, God talked to people in visions. God talked to people through words. God talked to people through physical things. God talked to people through numbers. Is that what you telling me? Watch who y'all look up to, man. Watch who y'all look up to, because I'm telling you, that be the main person that will kick your fucking heart out of your back. And you never seen it coming. You never seen it coming. That's why God said, don't idolize nobody but me. Don't idolize nothing but me. Because I know that if I do not have these cards, I know that if I lost all these cards today, I will still be a spiritual messenger. Because I done had too many times where people have told me, you must be an angel. Because God sent you right on time. So it's not that I need the cards. I use them because I have free will, just like everybody else does. And I don't do witchcraft because I bet you ain't never met a soul that could care the fuck less about somebody else's life as much as I do. But if you're going to listen, if you're going to support, and if I have a message for you that can uplift you, heal you, and help you overcome, then that's what I'll do. But I don't do it for myself whatsoever. And I don't do it for the money whatsoever. I do it for the soul of God's people. And to let you know that everybody is not going to respect where God is calling you. But that does not mean that you don't listen. Because we know that not listening is the worst thing that we could ever do. And what did I say about getting to a certain level? The Ace of Pentacles. You worked your ass off to get to that level. But what did I say? They're going to try to use God. Try to blame it on the devil. She or he got that because the devil. They work for the devil. But the blood is on their hands, not yours. Alan said, that is true. I told my doctor about it and he thought I was nuts. He was going to have a mineral devaluation on me. See? See what I'm saying? 3 of Swords. It's heartbreaking. Man, what did I just tell y'all? Alan, what did I just tell y'all? Didn't I say you got to watch who you look up to? You got to watch who you listen to? Didn't I just say that? Because they will stab you in your heart and watch it bleed out your back. Because of their manly conditions, their manly roots. Hello, welcome in, y'all. Look, the 6 of Cups. And look at it. It looked like this group is doing rituals, if you ask me. But didn't I just tell y'all that you worked your ass off for this blessing? God gave you this blessing. And didn't I say they're going to try to make it seem like you did something unhealthy or ungodly to get it? I can't make this up, man. I cannot make this up. Micaiah said, I saw even some poor people could save someone who have so much money spiritually. People should have respect to people, whatever. They are poor in the matter. Exactly. Exactly. This man gonna sit up here and say, God ain't give you no dreams like he gave Joseph. He put Joseph in control of nations. I got 3.5 million followers. That's what God will do. But even Joseph had to sit in the prison for how long? How long was Joseph in the prison? Before he became the man over the nation. How How long did you have to sit and work before you got them 3.5 million followers? And a lot of them just subscribe and they'll never watch your ass again. So like I said, I don't give a damn if you starting with one person. Because a lot of times it's only 2 out of 200 that you can find is willing to actually sit back and learn and listen and respect and receive God in all forms, not just the ones that they created. Lynn said, I am protected. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. That's facts, Lynn. That's facts. But they using weapons every single day to take people's lives. What about that? Speak on that. Don't speak on how people is being called to God. Speak on the shit that's being done that ain't right. Speak on the lies and the secrets. Speak on that. Speak on all this sexual activity out here. Speak on that. All these diseases and shit going on. Speak on that. Speak on how people in relationships are dealing with family where they don't even feel loved or valued. Speak on that. Speak on that. Speak on how the church say, come as you are, but if a woman come and she's on her period, they want to kick her out. Speak on that. They want to talk about motherfuckers' hair. Speak on how God says do not cut or round the back of your head, the back of your neck. And females do it all day long so they can look cute. Speak on that. Speak on how God said that it's a shame for a woman to be bald-headed. That's in the Bible. Speak on that. Speak on how they said that it's a shame for a man to have hair. And all these men out here with dreads. Speak on that. Don't just speak on what the fuck y'all want to speak on. Speak on how God said do not eat no fish that does not have a scale and a fin. But y'all out here eating clamshells and shit. Speak on that. Speak on how people go to jobs where they really helping people. Where they supposed to be nurses. And they saying shit like they can't wait for the patient to die. Speak on that. Shit. You don't know how God talking to a person. Don't generalize shit when everything can be used for good and bad. Speak on that. Celestine said, Ashe, sister, speak truth. Lynn said, do unto others as you want done unto you. Micaiah said, they don't trust the church. Some of them, you can't trust some of them. I'm telling you. I told you, Micaiah. Boss, I'm taking donations for personal reads. Lene said, love my father. Lynn said, pray for the ones who are suffering, that God touches them in ways they least expect. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you. Thank you, Lynn. Micaiah said, going to some church is very dangerous. They will low you. They will super low you. Super low you. Lynn said, pop right for the ones who live in the matrix come out and see the truth. Go ahead, Lynn. Flex, man. Facts. Lynn said, I am a seer, a light barrier, a spiritual warrior, and a healer. Alan said, God don't care what you look like on the outside. He cares about what your spirit looks like when you come to him. Exactly. Lynn said, I pray that God remove all the hatred that they feel towards themselves and others, that the pain they feel will be purified and turned into love. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you. That's what we need. That's the truth. That's the truth. Let go of the hatred and the secrets that you keeping within yourself and vomiting out on other people. That is the truth. Because if you a godly man, you ain't about to get on here, excuse me, y'all gotta forgive me, I ain't went and got a haircut. You don't give a fuck about no haircut. You speaking for God. You talking to God's people. Lynn said exactly. Your soul just needs to be pure. Exactly. Micaiah said the divine is more interested on the state of the heart. And according to the state of the heart, we could be able to connect with divine. Exactly. Put an end to the manly conditions. Put an end to the manly conditions. Mommy. I had to get that from somewhere. Oh no, you got hurt. You gotta be careful. Are you bleeding? Are you bleeding? Mommy's not bleeding. Let's see, what else we got here? What else do God want us to know? The 9 of Wands and the Sun. Spiritual warrior. Bring light to God's people. That's it. That's all. Spiritual warrior. Stands alone. Bring light to God's people. That's it. That's all. And you will find your tribe. You will find your tribe. But do you see how this light is attracting this dark? Do you see it? So do not be discouraged. Do not be discouraged. Heal. Rest. And know that change will come. Lynn said, I am returning to my soul family, and together we will rise and do great things. Amen, Lynn. Facts. That is the truth. Because this money and this material wealth and this material status got all these motherfuckers confused about what the truth is. Got them all confused. It got them all confused. I can't make this up. I can't make this up. And what did I say? Take their fortune away from them and see where their soul land. Lynn said, I claim it and I accept it. I'm ready. Go ahead, Lynn. Go ahead with your bad self, Lynn. Go ahead with your bad self. Because you got a choice. You got a choice. Just like everybody else has a choice. You have a choice. God made all things. He made all things. And he asked you to love and respect them all. That's all he asked you. The Queen of Cups do not judge. The Queen of Cups is inquisitive. They're empathic. And they would rather learn. And they would rather get to see and know people for who they are. And not who their money has made them to be. Lynn said, praise the Lord. Hallelujah. I did it. I have a choice. I chose God's way because my way wasn't working. Facts. Facts. Micaiah said, do same as the divine do. Micaiah said, divine is about real love. Do good in alignment, blessing self and people. Take care of self, knowing the true self. Be a bridge to share the light, to contribute change. To contribute the change in people towards God. Facts. Lynn said, I'm a chain breaker. And I stepped into my legacy of my bloodline. I know that's right. Facts, Lynn. Come on, Lynn. Let's get it. Let's get it, man. Facts. Stand on your truth. That's also what this means. Stand on your truth. You know what you came through. You know what you've been through. You know how God is talking to you. Can't nobody else tell you if that's right or wrong. That's their problem. They want too much control. That's only a control seeker when they want to tell you that what you doing is wrong. Because they don't want their secrets to come out. They don't want the ways that they done been stuck in or conditioned in to change. People don't like change. But God said, I'm here to shake it up a little bit. And even as myself, I didn't want to change certain things. And God had to shake it up a little bit. Get up out of here, man. Can't nobody say that they know who God is. Nobody, not even me. But I can confirm where he has brought me. And I can confirm the purity of my spirit when I ask him for direction. Speak for you. Speak for you. And if there's a question, go to the source. Because you are a resource. You're not the source. And a lot of other shit that you get this information from are resources. They're not the source. So watch out, man. Watch out dearly. Watch out dearly, man, who y'all put in high honor. Because it be them same ones that strip away your value if you let them. That's sad, man. That's really sad. Really sad. But it is what it is. And I'm just a nobody, like I said. I am a nobody. But I'm here to tell everybody about somebody who can save anybody. God saves people, not the Bible, not the cards, not the rituals, not the money, not the clothes, not the hair, not the grills, the goats, but God. God saves people. And you want to know how he saves? You want to know how you would feel saved? Is when you get joy about yourself and the world around you. And don't let nobody take it from you. Micaiah said, the one who never sinned, throw the first stone. Exactly. Facts. Alan said, money corrupts the soul. Lynn said, I'm the mirror for you. And if you are feeling uncomfortable around me, it means my mirror is working. Go ahead, Lynn. Facts. Lynn said, I'm to make people take their mask off so they can see what they need to fix within themselves. Facts, Lynn. Go ahead, Lynn. Go ahead. You know where you being called. You know where you being called. And it don't matter how you do it. It don't matter what you use. Because what matters is the change that you see in people. That's all that matters. Micaiah said, in the past, I used to judge negatively people like I am perfect, but that was draining my energy. It's like transmute self-energies into negative energies. Exactly. Exactly, Micaiah. It's not worth it. It's not worth it at all. Don't judge. Because too many things in the Bible contradicts itself. Too many things in the cards may contradict themselves if somebody ain't speaking for God. Everything has good and bad in it. Everything. But I'm here to awaken God's people and let you know that do what you are being called to do. Because like I said earlier, if I speak English and I don't understand tongue, I'm not going to go to somebody that speaks tongue in order for them to tell me a message that God has for me. I just won't. And I won't get a middleman because I know how easily people mix shit up. God is the source. Take it to him in all things. Micaiah said, true. Sandra said, hello. Welcome in, Sandra. Welcome in. I guess that's what this message was about today. Wow. Wow. This is deep. Lazarus said this. Man, I'm telling you. This. Then said, I've walked out of the shadows of doubt, refined and pure. I know who I am now, and I'm here to tell you that nothing is going to stop me. Awesome, Lynn. Awesome. Awesome. Micaiah said, like Divine is not able to be angry. Divine is only positive. If not, that means in Divine there is misfortune or black hole. Liz said, I'm untouchable. I've got Michael by my side and God and Jesus. Micaiah said, only the part of God in the darkness could be angry. God does get angry. God gets angry at the fact that these people believe that they are God, and they try to judge people, or they try to seek vengeance with their swords and their guns and their knives and their fires and their made up lies. God is angry, but it's not for us, because he said vengeance will be his. A lot of people pay for their way. That ain't wrong. You ain't speaking on how people paying for their way through shit. Oh, just because you want to slide them an extra couple dollars, you think they can put you first? When all these people been waiting in line? But if you give them an extra couple dollars, can I go first? That's wrong. That's called control. Because you ain't got a heart big enough to care about the old lady that's on her wheelchair standing right there. You greedy. You greedy. You got so much money, you gonna pay the person to skip every fucking body else instead of paying for the people in front of you. You gonna pay somebody to lie on somebody and throw dirt on some fucking body. Speak about how that's wrong. But the scales will be balanced. Because they don't know when their day is coming. But trust me, it's gonna show up. They don't have to worry. God said you won't have to ask and you won't have to beg. It's like, now I heard that in a song. But I strongly feel that God is saying that because I done lost it all multiple times. And it done came all back multiple times. And I didn't have to ask, and I didn't have to beg. Man said, yes, vengeance will be his for the darkness touching his anointed ones. Facts, Lynn. Come on now, Lynn. Come on. Come on now, Lynn. Micaiah said, and negativities are necessary in tests. Exactly. And I say that all the time. Because God made all things. So how would we know? How would we know? If we are pure-hearted, don't want to judge or see anybody hurt, then how will we know that there are people out there that are closed-minded and will judge your damn socks off? How will we know? And just like me, I done been a fool many times. Loving on people that never loved me, even from a distance. Alan said, you see, that is what I'm talking about when I'm saying money corrupts the soul. Exactly, Alan. Exactly. You won't have to ask, and you won't have to beg. Micaiah said, love is normal for a divine one because they are love. So loving even those who hate. Exactly. That's true. And staying out of their way. It should be easy. If you don't go in somebody's lane, you would expect them to not come in yours, right? If you don't speak on somebody's car, then you would expect them not to speak on yours, right? But it ain't set up that way. You gotta watch out, man. And call shit as you see it. And leave it up to God to do the rest. Be emotionally intelligent. That's what's going to get you far. Micaiah said, yes, loving is also put each thing in their place. That's what's going to get you far. Micaiah said, in love, there is harmony and balance. We want it to be. We want it to be. That's why I always say, find your community. Find your community. But I do believe I am going to leave it here, man. I'm gonna leave it here. I might come back on and see if we get a different message. I might come back on and see if we get a different message, but that was it for this live, man. I do appreciate everybody that came in, and you know, Lynn, Micaiah said, do you have another social app? I do, but I don't be on it like the way that I be on these. I have I don't have Snap. I have Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, but I haven't gotten on it the way that I need to, and I need to, for real, for real. Micaiah said, me too, but you can find the links in the description box if you want to go follow me on those socials as well. But until we meet again, family, y'all stay safe, man, and continue to believe in God, believe in yourself. You got this, no matter what. Micaiah said, oh, I will follow you. Thank you, Micaiah. All right, awesome. I appreciate you. Y'all have a great rest of your Saturday. Again, I'm thinking about coming back, but we'll see. All right, bye.